Look, I know this isn't the Scorbunny run, I'm working on it, and it's just taking a while. I don't have the new games memorized like I do the original ones, and Scorbunny is so mega weak, and then there's this jerk named Duncan that has a Sudowoodo with Rock Slide, and it destroys Scorbunny. You're getting this video, and you're gonna be happy about it. So let's go through Pokemon Blue with a Dratini. I thought of this challenge when I was just kinda sitting around one day, and thought about how Dragon Rage was the only dragon move in Gen 1. I then wondered if Dratini itself would be a viable Pokemon to use in Gen 1 games with not having any stab moves. Dratini's move list isn't stellar. It starts with Wrap and Leer, learns Thunder Wave at level 10, then Agility, Slam, Dragon Rage, and Hyper Beam. So it's not that those are weak moves, Hyper Beam is there, but Dragon Rage only does the set 40 damage, and Wrap and Slam don't have 100% accuracy, which in Gen 1 means very bad accuracy. Its TMs that it can learn are very good though. I've got a lot of good moves that I can put on Dratini for this run. I definitely think I'll be able to do this run. This is more of a matter of how difficult the run is and how low of a level it can be, rather than if it's possible to win with a Dratini. Dratini itself has very average stats. Attack is its highest, and everything is just kinda normal outside of that. Here's our rules for the run. As usual, I will not be evolving Dratini. It will not evolve into a Dragonair or a Dragonite. I will also not be using items in battle. There's no held items in Gen 1, so obviously I can't use those either. Also, I will be catching Pokemon to use HMs, but I will not be using them obviously, as they are not Dratini. I named my rival after the absolute jerk face, Duncan, the dude I was ranting about at the beginning of the video. I hate this dude so much. I replaced Squirtle with Dratini because I don't think I've used a Pokemon to make the rival have Bulbasaur yet, and I kinda wanted to see that. Also, I named Dratini Scorbunny, so this is like kinda the Scorbunny run, right? Right? Wrap is OP in Gen 1, but that doesn't make it good. It's very, very weak and only has 85% accuracy. And it's only 15 power. That makes it very weak. Yes, most early game Pokemon go down easily, but not quickly for sure. I talked to the dude that teaches you how to catch Pokemon and a Ditto showed up for him. Cool, huh? I realized that was a box I could check in making it random for the tutorial. Way better than a Weedle. Just don't tell that to Frank. I battled Duncan outside of the Indigo Plateau at level 8. The biggest problem in the fight is that Pidgey is faster than me, and the Pidgey has our favorite move, Sand Attack. There's one time that Sand Attack hit me 4 times in a row. Without me landing a hit, it was disgusting. I hit level 10 and learned Thunder Wave, and that stopped Pidgey dead in its tracks. I didn't want to have to do this, but it was necessary to finally get through this battle, and Bulbasaur didn't put up much of a fight at all. I hit level 12 through Viridian Forest and went straight to Brock, and this did not work out well. Wrap is a normal type move, and so naturally, both Brock's Pokemon resist normal type moves. I tried using Leer on Geodude, and he used Defense Curl each time, so we were just going around in circles. Each bit of damage that Wrap does is minimal at best. At my current level, I can barely make it to Onix, and then I stand 0 chance to finish the battle. I tried at level 16 to take down the rocks, but it still wasn't enough. At level 18, I used Leer twice, and Geodude used Tackle both times instead of Defense Curl. So I took a little bit of damage, but his defense was lowered by a lot compared to how little damage I was doing originally. I got a few Leers on Onix as well because he tried using Bide. Wrap still didn't put up the big numbers, but it did just enough to make it through the battle. None of the battles in Mount Moon caused me any trouble. Even the rock types didn't do much damage because Wrap stops them from attacking. So it's not just that I do a little bit of damage and then take some damage, I take very little damage in this equation. I took the Helix Fossil because, well, what else would I pick? And made my way to Cerulean. I went straight into Misty's gym to battle her when I got to Cerulean, and almost won on my first try. Staryu went down doing very little damage to me. Starmie could have definitely been beaten, but I missed Wrap a few times and it only lasted for 2 turns at very inopportune times. But I won the very next time. I just used Thunder Wave to make sure that I got the win in the gym. I got Bubble Beam from Misty, and I didn't plan on teaching this move, but I taught it to Scorbunny to give me a big advantage over the rocks. I met Duncan on the Nugget Bridge and his lovely Sand Attack Pidgeotto was ready to play. But it used Quick Attack instead of Sand Attack, so I wrapped it to death. And then I proceeded to do the same thing to the rest of his team. I got the SS ticket from Bill and boarded the SSN, but not before adding a few Pokemon to my team. I caught a Bellsprout to use Cut, and I named it Scorbunny since this is technically a Scorbunny run. I also caught a Pidgey to use Fly, and I named it Scorbunny. Duncan's team doesn't change any except for gaining some levels aboard the boat, and he was defeated just as easily as last time. But this was the battle where I learned how inaccurate Slam is. And it's not just inaccurate, it's very inaccurate. Now at this point I can use Cut, but that doesn't mean you have to go to Lieutenant Surge's gym. You actually can skip it, but I went on through the gym because I want the TM for Thunderbolt. I used Slam on each of Surge's Pokemon, and they all died to Slam. It's like poetry. Now that I have Bubble Beam and Thunderbolt, I can literally take care of any Pokemon that trainers have in Rock Tunnel. Cubone, Slowpoke, Graveler, Onix, all of them are taken care of. It's really nice to not have to worry about any of these punks in this tunnel. Before taking on Erica's gym, I ran by the Celadon department store to get one more TM, Ice Beam. I find it a little ironic that the Pokemon that would get wrecked by Ice Beam can learn it, and it's going to give me the depth that I really need to take down my opponents. No joke, this is going even easier than I expected it to. And because I had Ice Beam, Erica's grass types were frozen right where they were rooted in the ground. None of them actually froze, but you get what I'm trying to say. Now here's something I did differently in this run. I normally go through and battle every single trainer I come across to get as many levels as I can, but when I got to the Rocket Game Corner, I stopped battling every single one. I'm doing really well so far, and I want to see how low of a level I can be when I beat the Elite Four. I only had to battle like 3 grunts, and since I have a more diverse move list, I take pretty much everything down. Giovanni's team is a pushover too. Rhyhorn and Onix went down to Bubble Beam easily. I was a little more worried about Kangaskhan, but it just used Comet Punch, and that doesn't do much damage to me. 2 hits on Kangaskhan, and Giovanni was defeated. Now that I have the Sylph Scope, I went to the Pokemon Tower and beat down Duncan. I'm really glad he has a Gyarados, because Thunderbolt wrecks its face. And the rest of his team was taken down just 1 hit at a time. I went through the rest of the tower and got the Pokeflute to make my way to the next gym. Koga's team I didn't have a very big advantage over. I basically just muscled through as hard as I could. His team definitely didn't go down in 1 hit though. Coughing took 2 hits, and when Muck came out, it tried to annoy me to death by using Minimize. I have more accurate moves than Wrap now, but they still missed a good chunk of the time. The worst thing Muck did was poison me, limiting my lifespan in the battle. The second Coughing didn't do any damage, and Wheezing was just tanky. I would have lost this battle if he didn't keep using X attacks instead of just attacking me. Thankfully, his dumb item usage was his doom. And that's why I don't use items in battle, obviously. Also, I would have absolutely lost this if he had just used Explosion. I picked up Surf in the Safari Zone so I can teach that to Scorbunny instead of it having Bubble Beam, so now it just has a really strong water attack. In Silphco, I went straight to getting the card key and skipped every trainer but the required ones. The battle with Duncan actually was a little scary, not gonna lie. I got hit with Sand Attack because Thunderbolt couldn't take Pidgeot down in 1 go. And it wasn't enough for Gyarados in 1 hit either, and I missed a move while Gyarados used Dragon Rage twice, giving me 80 damage, straight up. Growlithe was no issue, and Alakazam was stupid. It kept using Recover and Disable on moves that wouldn't affect the battle. I got super lucky with that. And Ice Beam took down Venusaur because it was a critical hit. I really should have lost this battle, but at the same time, there's no reason why I should have lost this battle. I need something to use Surf, so I figured I'd take the free Lapras that you get right after the rival fight. I've been making a theme of naming Lapras after a biblical character each run, and I've got a really good one this time. Yep, Scorbunny. You knew it was coming. Giovanni's team was the exact same as last time. His Kangaskhan missed Comet Punch, so I took everything down in 1 hit without taking any damage, since Surf destroys everything. I didn't even bother going to the fighting dojo, just so I make sure that I don't get overleveled. The Sabrina fight actually took 2 tries to win. The first time was more of just seeing how my team handles her. These Pokemon use Recover over and over when they have full health, so I have some nice RNG going on here. Mr. Mime is much more of a tank than I was expecting, and it set up Barrier, making Slam just a little bit weaker. I froze Venomoth, ensuring the win there, but Alakazam hit like a truck. I didn't have full health going into this battle the first time though, so with a full bar of HP, I went back and got the W. I learned Hyper Beam against one of the trainers in the gym that I accidentally ran into, and replaced Slam with Hyper Beam. It's super powerful, and in Gen 1 it's bugged. If you knock out the opposing Pokemon, it bypasses the recharge turn. It annihilated her team. I used Thunderbolt on Mr. Mime this time, and it paralyzed him, and then Hyper Beam finished him off, and everything else was done in by one Mega Beam. With only 2 gyms to go, I went straight to Cinnabar and thought I'd do something crazy. I always throw the fossil in the PC, but this time I got it out and resurrected Lord Helix. And I named him Scorbunny. So that's probably a little blasphemous. Nothing happened in the Pokemon Mansion, and it's a very good thing too. I forgot to hit record on OBS. Talk about lucky. Blaine's gym was a cakewalk. Surf took everything down in one hit except for Rapidash. That little booger took 2 hits to bring down, but that was it. Giovanni's gym, second verse, same as the first. I guess 8th gym, same as the 7th, but you get what I'm saying. Everything that he has is weak to Surf, so Scorbunny went all cowabunga on this gym and destroyed everything. Giovanni also used items at awful moments. Nidoqueen took 2 hits, but he used a guard spec, so it did no damage to me. The only slightly worrisome part was when Nidoking used Thrash, and had a critical hit. That could have been really bad, but 2 hits took it down, and I got the final gym badge. Duncan's team before the Indigo Plateau wasn't anything special, but it took me a few battles to beat him just because of his Alakazam. I can't take it out in one hit, and Psybeam and Psychic are heavy hitters. Even when Alakazam can't take me down, I have so little health left over that the job is super easy for Venusaur to put the final hits on me. When I finally beat Duncan, I took no damage from his Pidgeot, giving me a full bar of health. Got a critical hit Hyper Beam on Alakazam, and a critical Ice Beam on Venusaur, leaving me with just enough HP to deliver the finishing blow. I avoided all of the trainers in Victory Road, but I wound up coming back to them. See, I forgot that the first person in the Elite Four is Lorelei, who uses Ice types, and Ice absolutely destroys little Scorbunny here. So I'm not even going to bother detailing my first dozen runs against her, just because they all end in sad defeat. Instead, I went all the way around the region getting all the PP ups and ethers I can find, while also getting some levels along the way. After hitting level 77, I made my way through the Elite Four for real. The big issue with Lorelei is that Dugong can't be taken down in one hit. I have to use 2 Thunderbolts to beat it, and it will always use Aurora Beam on me. I can't even begin to tell you how many times it froze me. But this time, Lorelei used a Super Potion instead of attacking me, which is definitely cheating, but I'll take it. Bad Gen 1 AI that unintentionally gave me the win. Cloyster was a big issue for a while, but at level 77, it now goes down in just 1 Thunderbolt. Slowbro takes 2 hits even at this high of a level, but it used Amnesia on this run, so I made it through without taking damage there as well, and Jinx was defeated by a single Hyper Beam. Lapras always uses Blizzard, but the run that I finally beat it, it missed Blizzard, leaving itself wide open for the second Thunderbolt I needed to finish it. I seriously had to do about a 20 level jump to beat Lorelei. Bruno, like normal, wasn't too bad to deal with. Surf took care of both his Onyxes, and Hyper Beam took down the Hitmons in one hit. I used Surf on Machamp, taking it to half health, and Bruno used an X-Defend, so I just surfed again to take him down. Agatha is annoying per the usual. There were actually some runs where I would get to her off lucky crits against Lorelei and Bruno, but it just wasn't worth it to try and beat Agatha at that level. I used Surf to take out her first Gengar, it used Dream Eater when I was awake, giving me a free turn. Then it used Nightshade, only doing 56 damage to me, and went down. Thunderbolt took care of Golbat no problem. Haunter fell victim to Surf as well, but not before confusing me. Scorbunny was a champ though, and fought through the confusion. Arbok took 2 Ice Beams. It only used Screech, leaving me relatively unscathed. Her second Gengar used Confuse Ray again, and I hurt myself once in the confusion. but Scorbunny pulled through 2 turns in a row without doing any self-damage. I always hate this battle. Ghosts are just annoying. Lance's Gyarados went down in 1 hit, and both Dragonairs went down in 1 Ice Beam. Aerodactyl is a major speedster, but it used Bite instead of a much more powerful move against me. I could have flinched, but I didn't, and Thunderbolt landed with a critical hit. And Ice Beam is doubly effective against Dragonite. I can't believe Lance was the easiest one for me to take down here. And now it's time for the final battle. Duncan's Pidgeot survived Thunderbolt and hit me with a weak wing attack, but it had me a little bit worried at how quickly I could take down this team. Alakazam used Recover instead of attacking me. Thankfully. Hyper Beam took it down in 1 hit. Surf took Rhydon down, as expected. Thunderbolt took out Gyarados, as expected. Arcanine took 2 Surfs, unfortunately. It used Takedown, and that did a good bit of damage, but the recoil it did to itself solidified the win, and Venusaur only took 1 Ice Beam because I had a phenomenally lucky critical hit. And with that, Duncan has been defeated, and Scorbunny is the champion. If only the actual Scorbunny run was this easy. Honestly, this was even easier than I expected it to be. I knew the game would be really quick after I got Thunderbolt and Ice Beam, but I didn't expect it to just be super easy as long as the enemy didn't have an ice move. If Lorelei hadn't been one of the Elite Four members, I probably could have beaten the game around level 50 or so. Per the normal Gen 1 runs though, Brock did take a good while to beat. Maybe next time. Thank you so much for checking out the channel today. I have a good few other Pokemon challenges on the channel if you're interested in those. I recommend the Stantler video. Stantler is my new favorite Pokemon because of it. And I have other non-Pokemon videos as well if you're interested in those. Now, I've got to get back to the Scorbunny video. Until next time, see you later!